Hi crafters and welcome to stampityourself.com. My name is Connie Ray and this is the project we're doing today. It's a lovely rustic flowering fields earthy card. You can use it for thank you, happy Easter, happy birthday, Mother's Day, doesn't really matter. It's a really lovely card and I want you to give it a shot if you can. Okay, this is the stamp set that I used. This is called Flowering Fields. It's actually a free stamp set currently available with the celebration sale that's currently on, and it ends at the end of this month. So you need to go in and spend $90 on products and you will be entitled to a free product of your choosing, which is available on my website, which is stampityourself.com. You can go in and you will see the celebration sale items that you can get. You can click on the link and download the PDF, and you can make a choice there of any of the stamp sets that you would like for free for the first $90 you spend, and thereafter if you spend another $90 you get another free stamp set. So that being said, I think I've got just about every one of them. Anyway, this is the one that I used in this instance, and I used yeah, look, I'll just get on with it, shall we? Let's go. Okay, so this is the Flowering Fields. Very busy card. It was a busy card for me, but usually I like to keep it clean and simple, but this turned out gorgeous. I was really impressed with it. Okay, so first thing I did was I used our brick embossing folder, and this is the embossing folder that goes through the Big Shop. I'll just put that under there so you can see the colour. You can see the brick, and what I've used is the white brick. You could use brown. This is actually Tip Top Taupe. That's a Tip Top Taupe colour, so you can use that if you chose to. But in this instance, I use the white, and I'm going to bring out the effects of, you can probably see it if I turn it, there you go. I'm going to bring out the effects of the brick wash, just using some ink and a paintbrush, and I'll show you exactly how that's done. I'll just zoom in a bit there so you can see it. So, if you've embossed your card, I've done that just to save a little bit of time. The card itself is made from Whisper White cardstock, and that is 11 by 4 1/4, scored at 5 1/2. Your underlying mat, which is Tip Top Taupe, is 5 1/4 by 4, so that goes on top, as you can see. You've got your underlying card, you've got your mat, and on top of that is your artwork, which we are going to do now, which sits on top, and a spare piece of Tip Top Taupe for your sentiment. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and I've done the brickwork on the embossing folder. So now I'd like to show you exactly how easy it is and what I did to bring out the bricks. I have used crumb cake, a paintbrush, nothing more than that. It's all you need. So we'll just open it up. And what I've done is just gone around the edges of the card. Make sure I've got that on the right side. I'll just put a bit of paper under it so we can go crazy and make a mess. So basically I've just gone underneath and I've just highlighted around the edges of the bricks just to bring them into fruitation. So they're kind of like sandstone looking bricks, and it gives it a bit of dimension and a bit of depth in your artwork. And even though it's a card, it's still fun to make because it's so artistic. So when you're going around the edges, just try and smudge it a bit just to bring out the depth in it. It's really a lot of fun if you're not filming and you're not in a hurry. When I first did it, I was just playing, and it just turned out so well. I thought, oh, I like this card. I like it a lot. So just highlighting. Make sure you go right on the edges of the cardstock as well, on the Whisper White, because if you go around it, it kind of looks more like a brick. If you don't go around it, it looks really like, I'll show you what I've done. If you look closely, it looks like a brick, like a sandstony brick, and it brings out the bricks itself a little bit more. So it just looks like a little bit more real, doesn't it? So I'll keep going and try and think of really nice, smart things to say, which I probably won't. Can't think of anything smart to say. What's everybody doing for Easter, which is tomorrow's Good Friday? So everybody's going to be out getting all those Easter eggs. Oh gosh, it's such an overload of chocolate, don't you think? Got to do some cooking later on. I'm going to do some, what am I going to make? I was thinking, oh yes, my son wants to have the chocolate Toblerone cake, and he also wants to, well, I was thinking about doing an almond torte, which I do, and I'm not sure yet. We'll work it out. And then I was thinking of maybe doing some meringues or something. I don't know. I've got to go over to my mother-in-law, so I'm needing to take something over. And besides Easter eggs, it's just such an amount of chocolate. I think that's the only chocolate you should be allowed to eat all year. What do you reckon? That way we don't get too much. Okay, so we're nearly finished. Again, we're just still bringing out the brick itself. You can go as light with this as you want. If you don't like this colour, you don't have to do it. You can just do white bricks if you want. But I found that doing this, it does bring it out. I don't know what other colour you would use, but you can also experiment if you like. You can experiment with any colour, really. But I think brown is kind of more earthy, and it does sort of blend in with the concept of the nice sandstone-y kind of bricky colour. So as you can see, it's coming together pretty easily, and it's not hard, is it? Just a paintbrush, cheap paintbrush. It doesn't have to be an artist paintbrush. Just under that line, if you go under the crevices of the bricks, you will see that it actually comes to life. It makes the bricks stand out a bit more. Because I know that watercolouring is now really big at the moment with crafting people, crafting bodies, as you say, and they're doing a lot of watercolouring. So this kind of technique is becoming a little bit more popular. Techniques and things come and go, so it's kind of interesting at the moment. It's all about watercolour, about blending and bringing out colours and, you know, getting it all prettyised. It's not even a word, is it? Okay, so we've got the brick. I think I'll just do a little bit more down here because it's just needing a little bit of encouragement to surface as a brick. And there we go. All right, so that's that component of your artwork. So just go over and just smudge it a bit so it looks like a worn out brick. Okay, so there we go. You can see now that it's looking like a brick wall. How cute. Okay, so the next part of this artwork is involving using your stamps. So out of the stamp set that I've used, the Flowering Fields, I'm using this one, that one there. I'm using this one that looks like lavender because that's really adorable, and I'm also using this little one down here. So out of the 6, not including the butterfly, I'm using that one, and that one in this particular insert. You can use any of the stamps in this set that you want. Gorgeous. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to turn it around so that we can continue along with our masking. I'm thinking I might do it another way. Okay, just grab yourself a post-it note. If you've got a post-it note, it's going to be really handy, just so that you can protect the edge of your, let's just move it down just a fraction, protect the edge of your brickwork so that your stamping is going to go all over your spare paper and not all over your artwork. So we'll put that like that. Now I used a combination of colours. I used garden green, I used Wisteria Wonder, and I used basic black for my stamps. These 3, and I mixed them up. I used the lavender looking one with the Wisteria Wonder that come up nice and soft and smudgy looking. The garden green gives it a nice greeny gardeny feel, and the black makes it just stick out when you put more colour in it. So the combination just worked on this particular card, so I hope it works for you as well. I'm sure it will if you're following the directions. Okay, so for this one I think I will use the garden green. You don't have to go with what I've done. You can do whatever you want, doesn't matter. So when you're stamping it, just make sure that you're keeping this masking thing here happening so it doesn't go too far outside what you want it to be. You can go as far up as you like. You don't have to go one way or another. So let's see, put one there. Yeah, I might put 3 of these, and I might just move my protective. There we go. And you can put it on a slant if you want. It doesn't have to be the same way. see if I can bring it in a little bit closer for you to see while I'm doing it. There we go. And one more of this particular one. And I might just put this on kind of like an angle. There we go. Off the charts. Okay, and then the next one that I will do is I'll do the lavender, which is the Wisteria Wonder. Even if you didn't want to use the whole 3 that I'm using, you could just do 2. It doesn't really matter. So it's an option that, you know, it depends how many flowers you want in there. Really. Just remember your masking so you don't get it on your brick wall. And it does actually end at your brick wall. So a little bit over won't hurt, I suppose. We're doing some lavender sort of looking stuff at the moment, so we'll just bring that down a bit, I think. Isn't that gorgeous? It does look so good. I love it. Move it up a bit. All fingers and thumbs today. I should have just put 3 of these down and be done with it. Never mind. Okay. I'm just making sure that you guys can see it. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. Isn't it good? I like it. And it's always so much better when you do it in person, like in real life. It just looks so much more effective and it feels far more creative. I might put some here and I might just bring it down as far as possible off the page. Oh, I like it. There you go. So that's slowly coming up, isn't it? Isn't it pretty? So when you're sort of like looking at your brick wall, for some of you, oh, let me just get that into focus for you. Sorry. Okay, there you go. See how it's sort of like sprouting out of the garden box? That was the whole idea of it anyway. It's supposed to be sprouting. Okay, so I might just put another little tab over in, I might just go down here a bit further. Just want to put it in this corner here. Okay. Just enough to give it a bit of a, yeah, there you go. Because the more you put it in there in different directions and stuff like that, it actually looks like it's kind of full and flowing and sticking out everywhere. So it's a full garden box, which is what you want. Okay, and next one, I'll close my stamp pad, is this one. I'm doing this one in black because it's got quite a good size leaf on it that I'm going to go in with some coloured pens with my markers, and I'm going to make them get some colour in them. So, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a second. Just put my masking down again. Just going to save me fiddling around with it. As you know me, I don't have a lot of patience for these kind of things. Okay, right, it saves me mucking around with it. All right, so now we're going to put on here, probably about here, I think. Doesn't matter if it overlaps, but as much as it does that, you don't want it to also look silly. So just a few here and there. There we go. I think that'll do. And I'll just do one kind of here. There we go. So it's kind of like a busy looking garden box. And we're going to put some colour in it and a background in it. So once we do that, it's then going to look far more alive. So in that sense, it's a little bit busy, but it's good. It works once we've finished. The end product works. Let's put it that way. Right, get that out of the way. Now, with your paintbrush, just make sure you've cleaned it off really well with a wipe, which is fine, a baby wipe. It'll get all the brick colour out of it. You don't want that on the border, around the box. So we'll just turn that over, remove our masking. See, at the moment it's looking like this. Okay, so it's kind of looking like a garden box, but we just have to get it more realistically like a garden box. So it is going to look a lot deeper in a moment. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get your brush that you've just cleaned. You're going to get the sky blue. This is your sky blue. You're going to get your sky blue, and you're going to lather your brush in it, What we're going to do is just go around and just do the background of your stamp in sky blue. Don't worry about any of the colouring at the moment. We're going to go over that in a second. So just go around with your sky blue and create a nice sky. Not too much, but just enough. Don't overdo it, which is pretty easy to do. Sometimes you can overdo it with these colours. You don't need water, just use paintbrush and just a nice smudgy kind of look to it, which gives it a little bit more dimension. And you don't have to do it all, because some of it, the gaps that you don't colour in, they just end up looking like clouds. So we'll just do this down here. There we go. So just go around, pretty straightforward, eh? There you go. All right. So there's your sky. Look at that. Doesn't it look good? See how if you don't go all of it in depth and you don't add any water or anything like that, it kind of is patchy and it gives you that nice sky look, and it looks like a little cloud in there. All right, that being done. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to choose some colours of our markers. You can use any colour you like. For my I'm going to use, what colour is this? Oh, that's not crumb cake, is it? Okay. No. Let me see. Yeah, Daffodil Delight. That's a bit weird. Okay, let me have a look at this. Yep, that's the one that I want. I'm going to use Daffodil Delight, and I'm going to colour in these little bits here, because they're just enough to bring out. And don't worry, as I said before, when it goes over, it doesn't matter. Actually, I'm going to use a deeper colour so it comes out a little bit deeper. A deeper yellow. Definitely still Daffodil Delight. Yeah, that's better. I use it out of the blendabilities, some of the blendabilities or markers, whichever you want to use. You can choose the depth of the colour that you want. I liked this one. This one works better. It comes out deeper. So you're just going in and you're just highlighting over the top of all of your stamping, and you're just bringing out what you've stamped in there. All of the little, and I've done, let me see. I'll show you what I'm doing. I'm using the Daffodil Delight in this one. Oh, sorry. I forgot the camera was there. Okay, so this one here, I'm actually using Daffodil Delight, and I'm just filling in these little bubbles here with the Daffodil Delight marker. You can take any colour you want, doesn't really matter, but it is it stands out really well against the blue. So yeah, just go in and do that over all your little bubbles that you can see. And of course, you know, it just brings a little bit more depth to your garden. Let me see any more. Okay, so that's those ones. Now, I can't remember what I used a little bit of lavender on the Wisteria Wonder. Just a bit of Wisteria Wonder here onto the little ones. The Wisteria Wonder I've used, this is, it kind of reminds me of lavender, this one, and I've used Wisteria Wonder on that one. So again, you use whatever colour, but this just reminds me of lavender, so I've used Wisteria Wonder, which is our gorgeous purple colour, but it's referred to as Wisteria Wonder, so go ahead and use that one, or whatever colour. But for me, I like it with the Wisteria Wonder, because it's just a lavender kind of feel. And it blends nicely with those colours that I've chosen to colour with. Gives it more depth, and it looks more like a natural flowing garden. You don't need a lot. You don't need to press heavy, and you don't need to put a lot of colour in it. It's just got to be almost chalky light toning. It doesn't have to be dark, heavy colouring in pencil or anything like that. You can make it darker if you choose to, but I wouldn't recommend it. You just want a light flow happening through your, you want it to look kind of dreamy and watery and, you know, that kind of thing happening. So as you can see, bit by bit, the actual design is coming to life. It's kind of magic, isn't it? At first you think, oh, one piece of paper can be turned into something so pretty. It's amazing. Okay, so I think that's it with the lavender. Well, yeah, the lavender flower, I call it the lavender flower. That's using the Wisteria Wonder. And then just to make it pop a bit, I used cherry cobbler. Pretty sure it's triple. Some cherry cobbler. And these bells, I've used this on the, coming back to this one, this particular one here. It's got some nice little larger shape bells that you can colour in. So I've used the cherry cobbler on that just to give it a nice red pop. Makes the colours stand out a bit more. And of course the black, I did those ones in black and ink. So when you do it in the black ink, they actually stand out more when you colour them in. You can still see the outline. So it works kind of really nicely with the whole concept of making the colour pop and putting a bit more colour into your garden. And what that does is then make the other colours nice and soft. So yeah, it works. Well, for me it does anyway. So I hope it works for you and you like it at the end of the day as well. And whoever gets this card from you is going to be kind of, ooh, you're going to be looking and say, did you make this? How did you do that? And you go, oh, nothing. It was nothing. Once you're shown how, it's pretty easy, isn't it? That's the trick. Okay, nearly there. I wouldn't, you could probably use a nice Indigo Island is a blue, a dark blue. That would look really nice, I think, too, in this particular set. But, you know, it's up to you. You just do the colours that you feel you like and the way that they pop onto your card and make it stand out is what you want it to look like. And the recipient, you think the recipient has favourite colours that you would do it for? Go ahead and do it. Why not? Okay, and last but not least, I'm thinking I might just do a little bit of garden green, or in this instance, this is Wild Wasby. The Wild Wasby is a green, and I might just make these leaves just a fraction heavier in the colouring. And I'll show you what it looks like once I've finished. My camera work isn't, I'm still learning my way with the camera work, I've got to say. I've only just started uploading and building the courage to upload. At first I was as nervous as, it took a lot of courage actually. It's not really my thing, but I'm getting better at it. Well, I hope I am anyway. Talking your heads off. That I can do. Alright, now let me see, any more leaves anywhere that we can highlight? Yeah, so if you just go over it and just, yeah, bring it all to life. Like I said, your recipient's going to love it. Okay, so I think for now, that is pretty cool. There you go. So you can see, aren't they gorgeous? How cute are those colours? It is so pretty. And for a card, it's like, wow. Okay, so the next thing I did on this particular card, oh, we're getting there, is, oh, that one looks darker than that one, doesn't it? Yeah, I must have been more heavy-handed with it. Anyway, so basically there's my pattern. And the next thing I did is down here on the actual brickwork, I wanted to have that mossy kind of thing happening. So then I basically got out my Timeless Textures, which is this one here. This is in the Occasions catalogue. This is going to be on sale until the 31st of May. I think a lot of us, well, a lot of crafters actually bought this particular one because this just creates some really fantastic backgrounds. It's got the coffee stain, which is cute. It's got this one, which is what we're going to use now. This is like a leaf, but it's kind of like worn out. And when it goes on, it just sort of like partially stamps. It doesn't stamp the whole thing. But it's got so many options for backgrounds. It's great. So it's Timeless Textures. So that's a good one. Again, that one's not free. But if you bought this one, you could certainly add that up to another amount. Getting closer to your $90, so you can get a free item. Okay, so I'm just going to bring out that particular leaf that I was talking about. Again, going back to the garden green. And let me see, garden green, it's blue. Garden green. And just initially, all I did was just go around. I didn't want it to dominate the picture. So my garden green is kind of juicy, as you can see. So what I did is I just stamped it, and then I off-stamped it, and then I went on and just lightly stamped it. So stamp it off on the stamp pad, stamp it on a piece of paper. There we go. So it looks like a little vine travelling up this side of the actual brick. Stamp it off, and I would probably go. Oh, did I do that? I'm not sure if I stamped it off then. Okay, and stamp it off. Oh, have it, and then stamp it on again. There we go. And I think I might just do one more. Stamp it off and stamp it just at the bottom there. Okay, so there you can see that it kind of looks like it's a little bit viney and it's not really overbearing on the whole particular picture. Okay, so I hope it's coming together for you too. Don't forget you can always pause this, come back. All the instructions will be on my blog. You can pause this and come back, get all your bits and pieces that you need, so don't fret. Easily done. Okay, so now we're getting to the final stages. Ta-da! Okay, so the next piece we're going to use, I think I'll do the linen. Okay, so this is our Stampin' Up's, what do they refer to it as? Linen thread. And this is like very fine string, basically, but it also lends itself again to that earthy kind of feeling you want on your card. So basically I left a bit of a trim at the edge and just wrapped it around a few times. Just around the corner, in between there, just on between the brick and the flowers. I'll just move this out a bit so that you can see better what I'm doing. There we go. So just a few wraps, as many as you like, doesn't really matter. You just have it sitting there. So the linen just kind of looks like, just looks earthy. And it goes really well with this particular design. Okay, just a little bow, if you can do a little bow. If you can't do a bow, I can't help you there. Okay, let me see. Probably jinx myself. Okay, let's pull this one down. Oh, I can't do one now myself. Not to worry. Just we'll cheat. We'll do this, tie a knot. Okay, and tie another knot. Okay, so we've got your linen just being nicely threaded there. Okay, snip that off, then just get a little piece again and just tie a bow, just going like this. Oh, I can't even, oh yes I can. I was going to say I can't do it, but I can. See, when you're on camera, nothing works. When you're off camera, everything works. And you just think, why? Why? Okay, there we go. All right, snip that. That way you want it to be snipped. And then just grab one of our, where are you? Okay, my glue dots have decided to leave without my permission. And yes, I have. Okay, let me see. Oh, I've got some here. Probably staring me in the face, but that doesn't matter. Just grab a glue dot of your, just pop it on the back. There we go. Oh, okay. Oh, there we go. So I'm just, goodness me, I think I've got a glue dot stuck in my finger. Okay. No, I'm sure I have. Actually, I think I've got more than one. Okay. So that just sort of goes down like that onto your piece. Ew, glue dots everywhere. Okay, right, they're off. Okay, so I'll just trim. There we go. Just trim that down a bit. So pull it together so it sort of goes onto your piece. Okay, there we go. Just trim it off to make sure it's all. Okay. Now the next piece you want to do is to do our sentiment. We're nearly finished, guys. So we're doing a sentiment. This one has come out of You're So Lovely. Again, I'm using the Thank You, You Wonderful Thing. Thank you, You Wonderful Thing. That's cute, isn't it? All right, and that is going to be our sentiment, and this is in the Occasions catalogue as well, and that will be on sale until the end of May. And then the new catalogue comes out. Ooh, the new annual catalogue comes out, which is like the most fun time ever. All the Stampin' Up fans, it's our favourite. Well, there's a few things that we get excited about. The annual catalogue, Christmas release, and this celebration, which happens annually every year. You're kind of like, yeah. All right, so we're sticking that onto Tip Top Top. Yeah, did that look good? No, that didn't look good. All right, we'll turn it over and do it again. Too much yakking and not enough concentrating. Okay, Tip Top Top, and we're putting on. Thank you. Ah, what is that doing there? I don't like that. It's got a little bit of a. I'm very fussy. I know I am, but it's got something on it and I don't like it. All right, let me try another piece. Take that off. Always have some on hand. I think it had a little bit of a fibre on it or something from when I used it before. So we'll try again. Ah, much better. Maybe. All right, third time's a charm. Yay, third time's a charm. Okay, so almost finished. So I used my 2-inch circle punch. We've gone in and we've just punched that sentiment out, and trying to get the best angle on it. Thinking about there. Yeah, I'm thinking about there. About there. Okay. Pop. Out it comes. Now, if you want to put something behind this, you could probably put some vellum, because you don't really want to take up the actual design if you can avoid it. But if you want to make it prettier, you could put another size, like a 2.5-inch piece of vellum behind it, make it look nice. It doesn't matter. It's entirely up to you. I'm going to put some dimensionals on this one. Got a lot of reviews when I popped this on a forum that I'm on, and well, on a couple of forums that I had. And it's interesting to see the responses. I always use the responses from the forums and friends and that before I upload. If there isn't a response, it's really because it's not popular or it's not liked. So sometimes if that's important feedback for what you do. Okay, guess what, guys? We're nearly finished. So I'm really pleased that you stopped by, and I do hope you subscribe. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and it's given you some inspiration to go ahead and try something you haven't tried before, and be completely artistic in your approach to what you're doing. And anything's possible. I think, you know, like you can do whatever you want with a cardstock. I do it. I love small creations. I can't do big creations. I can only do small creations. It's really funny. I'm just putting on some dimensionals now on the back of our mat, as you can see. Oh, there's a dimensional. I'll just use that one. And I'm just cutting the dimensional spares that are left over. So people, what am I saying? Oh yeah, so you can use all your dimensional stuff. Don't waste it, because it works just the same. Okay, we've got our vanilla cardstock, so we're going to pop our dimensional down. I'm sorry, our mat down on our card. Okay, and then finally we're going to put our artwork down. And I really hope you enjoyed doing this, and I do hope you give it a try, because it's not hard, and it's like any flower I suppose would work. But you just need to have the embossing folder you need to have for the brick, because the brickwork really works well. And but the particular method itself, you can try this with any stamp set you've got, I suppose. Entirely your option. But this does work really well for some reason. I loved it. And there you go. So it's all compiled and all together, and guess what? Doesn't it look good? So thank you for joining me. Please subscribe. I will be doing another tutorial shortly, and thank you for watching. And if you need any questions answered, contact me. But if you go to stampityourself.com, it will lead you to my Stampin' Up website, and that you can go in and purchase the products required to make this stamp. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you do give it a try, and thank you for joining me, and I look forward to uploading an original design. Thanks again. Cheers.